Chelsea bounced back from their humiliation last weekend by unleashing a can of whoop-ass on Southampton away and winning 6-0. Jules, it's all about wanting to show pride and a reaction for their manager and these other stereotypes us scribes throw around?
Well, I think there's a bit of that. He certainly raised his voice, which he'd never done before after the Real Madrid defeat. And I think he would have been very happy with the reaction. However, I mean, Southampton were like, was that the over 60s? Was that a veteran team? What happened to that team? I mean, Chelsea could have won that game 15-0 and we would be like, no
this
problem.
is not one of those games where Southampton get pasted because they keep pressing and attacking and they
leave a lot of space.
This was just a game in which they played really poorly and executed
and Chelsea
poorly.
were on fire. Mason Mount cuts his hair and then has an amazing game. I mean, call that psychology. So, hey, well done. Well done.
Back-to-back defeats for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. This one at home to Brighton has to hurt more, Jules.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I think Arteta got his team selection wrong, we have to say. Xhaka left back, for example, the way the midfield set up. I think not keeping Nuno Tavares. I didn't really understand, why, despite the poor game he had against Crystal Palace. But again, a lot of the Arsenal players had. I don't think they're still very much in it. Even if you think that Spurs are favourite now for that fourth place, they're still very much in it. It's not
April
a disaster.
20th, they play Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think a lot's going to hinge on that.
Maybe, but it's not a disaster per se still.
It's a disaster when you have the momentum and you lose 2 games in a row.
I know it is. It's not great, but it's not like if they were 10 points behind now. So I think they have to try to stay positive, and I still think that Martinelli goal should have stood. No one can tell me it was a clear mistake by the referee to allow it, because it took them forever to actually try to put a line together to say it was offside. It should have stood. More Football League's revelations from Der Spiegel in Germany about financial irregularities. At Manchester City, Gab, what's at stake here?
So all these things are allegations that have been made before, right? So irregularities in signing of young players. In this case, it's Jadon Sancho. Roberto Mancini's contract. They actually published Mancini's contract, where it turns out that
he was paid by
he invoices Manchester City, and then a big chunk of his salary gets paid by Al Jazeera, which is also owned by Sheikh Mansour.
Yeah.
And then revelations that, despite the fact that they testified in court in the Cass case, that no, these are sponsorships. This isn't just money coming in from the owner. These are real sponsorships. It's not so much about the inflated value. Is they actually talk about, we need X million. Okay, email Etisalat or whatever. Make sure they get the money in. This looks bad.
Really bad.
It is some of the stuff they went over. I remind you, there's a Premier League investigation that has now been ongoing since December 2018, I believe. It's pretty extraordinary. It'll be interesting to see if this stuff gets admitted as evidence. Interesting to see how City defend themselves, because they've never made a public statement about this. I'm also fascinated, because I like the cloak and dagger side of it, is somebody at City still leaking things? Is whoever got these emails, whether they were hacked or whether they were leaked from the inside, do they release them little by little? And so for what reason? I still think that this warrants a big, serious investigation. And, Rui Pinto, the hacker himself, is out of the picture now.
So completely. He's been arrested, so it's not him.
There's a lot of questions here.
Yeah. Tottenham Hotspur beat up Aston Villa away from home 4-0. Gab, how about the KSK then? And now, do you think they're favourites to finish fourth?
Yeah, look, it's amazing now. We've got all our acronyms out there. This is interesting, because at halftime I thought Villa were probably the better side. Yeah,
Lloris kept them in the game.
Hugo Lloris coming up with some big saves, eventually wearing them down. Heung-min Son coming up big. Kulusevski as well.
Amazing.
They have a good song for him. I have a sense that loan's going to be made permanent. Yeah, on paper they're favourites, but twists and turns. Remember, they still have that big game against Liverpool coming up.
Yeah, the derby against Arsenal as well, even at home.
And the derby against a faltering
What about
Arsenal.
the Kane little assist for Son with his head? Amazing.
I thought you'd appreciate that. Bit special that Harry Kane.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.